What's happening, guys? Safety Liner C2 here. Now, after being the last video being ruined by that ROR guy coming in to my TeamSpeak channel, I am here for take 2 of this video. Now, sorry if my face cam, if my little avatar on the other side was covering it up for these other couple videos that I've done. So sorry about that. I finally moved it over here. So anyway, if you watched my Bluebird Workstar Concept First Look video, that's a long name, I mentioned in there that I was going to be doing a kind of rant about IC. So we're going to be talking about 2 things in particular here, or well, more than 2 things, but 2 buses in particular here. The IC AE and the IC BE. Now, for those of you who just know you like buses, but you're not really like familiar with them, the ICBE was introduced in 2007, and the ICAE was introduced in 2012. It was a Type A and Type B, respectively. So the ICBE was basically a smaller version of the ICCE, as you can see right here. It was on the same chassis, the International Durastar. And like I said, it was pretty much the same exact thing as the CE, just a smaller version. The ICAE was actually an interesting bus. It was the first integrated Type A released in school buses. It had a very unique look. It was on the International TerraStar chassis, and it looked pretty interesting to some people. I was personally a fan of these myself. I think they looked very, very cool. And these were the Type A buses. So both of these were designed for either smaller schools or a like a church bus or a handicapped bus. It was meant for something like these, or one of those. But notice that whenever I come onto IC's website, icbus.com, and I click on here, notice that the ICAE and BE are gone. Now, that is because they were actually discontinued. Both of them were offered up until some point this year, not too long ago. But why is that? Now, there is a pretty clear answer. They weren't selling very well, and I don't blame them. The ICBE, I never really saw a point in the ICBE. There was no point to it. There was nothing that was making it a very different bus than the ICCE. So, example, what my district would do is before we started ordering our C2s, or our handicap C2s, we would take ICCEs and put them to the minimum capacity, which was about the same size as an ICBE, and just put a handicap chair or a handicap lift on there. And that's what we would do instead of ordering a longer Type B. So that's what we would do. Now the ICAE, it just never really took off. I mean, it's cool looking, it's different, it was unique. If you come down here, you can see it says the first of its kind, the first fully integrated Type A. So, I mean, it was cool, but like I said, it never really took off. And the sales weren't really all that great for them either. So, it's kind of sad to see one of these go. The AE, actually, I could have seen, like I said, I never really saw a point in the ICBE. That could have been gone a long time ago. Heck, I don't even think they needed to create the ICBE in the first place with the ICCE, because Type Bs have been kind of dead. I mean, the last Type B, to my knowledge, besides all these StarCraft ones, those are crap. We'll forget about those. But the last one, to my knowledge, was the Bluebird Minibird, which ran up until 2004, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean, that was a long run. It lasted for 20 years, maybe, roughly, give or take. Probably a little less than 20 years, maybe 15 years. Um, but still, I mean, they never really had a point. Type Bs, they were just kind of there. I mean, you know. Now, um, like I said, the ICAE, it just never took off, and it should have, because the ICAE is a good bus, but it's got bigger competition than what it could put up with. Probably the most popular Type A is the Bluebird Minibird G5, or their Minibird Type Minibird Q series, I believe, T series. That's what it is. I mean, I'm sure that might take off. I don't know, but it's got bigger competition, and with IC ruling over most of the Type C market, it has a very large majority. I think it would have been a good idea just to stay in the Type C market instead of trying to move to everything. Now, let's come back over here to this first page, and let's take a look at the IC CE. So it gives us some general knowledge. Cummins ISB 6.7. Now, if you remember, if you've been on the channel for a couple years, I did a video in, gosh, I want to say it was late 2013, where I said that Cummins ISB was going to be an option in the ICCE. Now, the main engine that was in a lot of ICs was the MaxxForce DT, and if you come up here, you can see that it's still there on the IC RE. But they took out the they took out the DT because it just wasn't as reliable, and with more people choosing Cummins, choosing the Vision, the C2, maybe even the Lion, just because of the engine, because as great as the MaxxForce DT sounded, it just wasn't as reliable as the Cummins. So I wanted to do a little more research into this, so I went over to International's website to see if they would still offer the MaxxForce DT on any of their vehicles, but they don't, or at least on the Durastar, which is the chassis for the CE. They only offer the ISB 6.7 and the N9, which is pretty much the MaxxForce 9. I believe they just renamed it. Now, we on School Bus Web, we kind of went back and forth saying, oh, hey, they may replace the MaxxForce DT with the N9 and N10, which was basically MaxxForce 9 and 10 respectively. But I think it's probably a better idea just to stick with the Cummins. It's a reliable engine, more so than the DT. Now, the other part of this is, are they going to change the DT over to the Cummins on the RE? That I don't know. I want to say that in the near future they're going to. But I also feel like IC, why is this taking so long? I also feel like IC wants to stick with it. I don't know. That's just what I'm feeling. There it goes. So, I don't know. It's interesting what IC is doing. And hopefully it's going to work out for them, because they deserve it. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because I only have like 40 seconds left. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think, any thoughts on this. So yeah, make sure you subscribe. Right down here, it's my how to go right button that says you are now subscribed to Safety Liner C2. Make sure you comment all the way up there, all the way over there, over here, or down here. I don't know where they put it, I don't care where they put it. Make sure you also give this video a thumbs up, or you're going to be discontinued like the AE and BE. And make sure you also share this video with a friend. Show it to your mom, share it to your dad, show it to a guy in a random street. I don't care, don't get raped. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching.